So yoga for strength today. If you have a block or something you can use as a block, grab a block. If you have the bands, grab the bands. You don't have to have them. Just engage as if you are using them, and that will work fine. If you are on Facebook or YouTube and watching us, comment after the video, during the video. Let us know what you think, because we're lonely. We have been in this studio by ourselves or at home by ourselves for really long. We're forgetting how to talk to people.
It's very sad.
We have this weird family language that's going on because we're the only people we talk to. So, please comment, make us feel like we have real people active. And if you tell us you hate something, that's cool too. We're good. We have strong egos. We can handle it. All right.
Wax on your mat.
I have all kinds of stuff on my mat. I have the tavern on my mat. It's really gross. So this class is going to be about strength today. Mostly about just moving and getting a little stronger, and then relaxing. Nice long resting pose with a little bit of meditation. So start seated today. Come to a comfortable seat. Whatever that means for you, you can find props to put under your hips. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit on your knees. You can sit in a chair. Just find a seat. Start to land so that you can feel the ground below you. And then start to get a longer spine. Not a straighter spine, a longer spine. So imagine you could look inside and see your spine, and imagine those perfect anatomical models that you see of a spine and a skeleton. Imagine the nice soft curve of the neck, nice soft curve in the upper back, nice soft curve in the lower back. See them. And then just imagine little pockets of space between each vertebrae, getting longer and longer and longer, as if somebody pulled your head just gently up, making it a little lighter. Bring your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you, and find your breath. Try to allow a softening under the rib cage, allowing your breath to come more fully into the torso. Maybe starting to lengthen the breath gently without muscular force. Bring your hands to prayer heart space and open your hands up like a lotus cup right in front of the heart center. And bring to mind the thing that is bothering you the most. Maybe it's your to-do list, maybe it's a current worry or fear, and just bring it to mind. And then imagine giving it a texture or a color, something visual. So you can imagine just letting it drop out of your mind and into your cup. Imagine it filling up in your cup in front of your heart. And then we're going to send our cup up into the air over our heads, letting this go for the period of an hour. And then take little soft circles of the wrists as we bring our arms back down to our laps. Imagine feeling a little bit lighter. Returning to our breath. We're going to begin with the shoulders, floating the eyes open if you have the eyes closed. We're going to begin warming up the shoulders. So we're going to bring our shoulders all the way forward. Inhale as we bring them back. Exhale as we squeeze them forward. working the shoulders. You can start to move the upper back a little, hollowing out the chest. Bring the shoulders all the way forward. Bring them slowly up towards the ears and then slowly behind. Draw the shoulder blades behind you. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep them up high. And then draw the shoulder blades down just a little teeny bit. Keep squeezing. And then a little teeny bit. Keep squeezing. A little bit more. A little bit more. And then bring the hands out, palms up. Squeeze the elbows behind you. And then we're going to squeeze and push. Nice and slow. Squeeze and push. Squeezing, finding those muscles right in under the shoulder blades and between the shoulder blades, and checking in for any other muscles that are coming to the party that were not invited, any compensation patterns. So check in the low back, check in the hips, check in on your feet. Are you pushing into your feet? Are you holding tension in your face? And then squeeze the elbows together again, and we're going to send the shoulders up a little bit at a time, squeezing slowly up until they're almost at your ears. Squeeze and hold, and then bring them down. Let them shake a little. Bring your hands out like you're pushing the walls away from you. If we could do this in video, you guys can do this at home. So bring your hands out like you're pushing the walls away from you. Notice the weight of your arms. Roll the hands all the way back, all the way over, nice and slow. Thinking about movement in the shoulder. And then one at a time, corkscrewing. So looking, turning and looking at the right hand as you flip it backwards, and the left hand comes underneath, and then roll, corkscrew. Thinking about undoing patterns in the shoulders. Loosening and softening. And let that come down. Take a little side shuffle, a little wiggle, reset. We're going to inhale, right arm up and over. Hold. Press into the left hand. So really pressing that right rib cage right. Make more space on the right side. Take a big inhale as you come all the way back up and over to the other side. Press into the ground. Open up left rib cage. And bring it back to center. Make your way to tabletop position. So setting up in tabletop, make space for your wrists, get comfortable, and we're going to move and breathe. Inhaling tabletop, exhaling child. Inhale table, and exhale child. Connecting with your breath, connecting with feeling the points of your body that are connecting with the ground. Starting to see if you can begin to feel a wave of energy from the toes, from the feet, all the way to the tips of the fingers, and then all the way back. And then tucking your toes, if they're not already tucked. We're going to begin to come forward all the way forward. So making the hands very wide. Come forward. Bring the hips forward, but not sinking the hips forward, but holding them. Lengthen and lift, and then back. So we're not sinking the hips into the ground and sinking into our shoulders. We're coming forward and lengthening, and then back. Inhale forward, get long, engaged in the lower core. All those muscles close to the spine and the stomach. Try and find them and engage. If this is difficult for your knees, feel free to put something under your knees, or you can begin to take this a little bigger and lift up off the knees. High plank, down dog. Inhale, high plank, engage in front of the hips. Exhale, down dog. It's a little bit different than a high plank. So not quite, you're dropping the hips a little bit just to activate the hip flexors. Not quite an up dog, not quite a high plank. Somewhere in between. And then wherever you're at, meet me back in tabletop. Settle into tabletop and get really strong in the arms and chest. We're going to take the right leg out, even with the hip. No bowing in the back. Pull the stomach up, nice and strong and active. We're going to bring the right leg towards the right wrist. Hold and hover. And little pulses. This is yoga for strength. Get strong in the hips. Strong hips or flexible hips. Engage the core. Find your obliques. Try not to sink into those shoulders or the low back. Look for your compensation pattern. And then bring that right foot behind the left. Wrap it down. And then sink the hips so that you're stretching all the way from the right toes to the right fingers. Take the tension out of the neck. You can move, see? Push the right hip right. So let the toes land and then push it right, and then you're getting a little side stretch, right? Feel it? Slowly bring it back to table.
Yeah, I feel it.
I've been working Kaylee too hard. Her brain is on vacation.
My brain has left the station.
Set up in tabletop. Take your left leg even with the hip. Nice and strong. Strong arms, strong chest, strong stomach. Bring left foot to left hand. Hold it here, then pulse the leg nice and slow and with control. Strong hips, strong core, soft face, soft low back. Take the left leg all the way past the right. Far, far away from the left fingertips, and then stretch. So sink that left hip over to the left with the foot to the right.
I feel it now.
Did you found it? So I'm just guiding you. If you can't feel it, feel free to move around till you find something that feels better for you. Maybe the shape is different. Everybody's body is different. Bring your knee back down. Take your knees wide, toes together. So get comfortable in your knees. Make sure you lift up and make sure your knees are comfortable. We're going to come forward in this pose. So all the way forward, engaging in front of the hips. And we're going to bring the elbows down to a little bend, hold, and then little tiny pulses here. Breathe. Take the tension out of the face. Little pulses. And then take the hips backwards, keeping the hands connected to the ground, hips a little high. Opening up in the back of the arms, lower back, breathe. Slowly bring the upper body up, and you're going to come to a hover on your legs. So you want to be able to engage legs and thighs. Hold the torso up. Kaylee's just going to take a nap. So find the position where you can hold the torso up, engage the core. Hold it here. Get really strong in the legs first. And we're going to move. So arms out at the shoulders are gonna make the torso heavier. Down lower is gonna make it easier. So we're gonna take our hand left and right, little squeezes with control. So you're looking for these muscles right in between the hips, between the rib cage and the hips, on each side. Press away. Engage your legs more. Hollow out the belly a little more. Pull it tight towards the spine. Take it a little more flowy. Find your breath. And then bring it up to a hover, engaging the legs. Feel like you're trying to pull the knees together without letting them move. Bring your hands to prayer, heart space. Engage the legs. Get off the kneecaps. Go back.
Oh no, I was just collapsing. It's not like it is.
Get your hips back over towards your heels. There you go. We're going to hover and pulse here. So bring the hips down closer to the heels and then up. Find those front thighs. Down and up, nice and slow and with control. Start to make it a little harder, heavier. Huh?
You don't sit.
Find the muscles, bring the arms out.
Something that's harder.
You bring the arms out wide. Engage your legs.
Can you just lean back? It looks funny.
Bring it to tabletop. So if it looks strange, we can get Kaylee to work.
It's funny.
Bring it to tabletop and tuck the toes, and we're going to bring the knees to a hover. So we're going to engage the core. Again, knees to a hover. Set up first. So hovering just above the ground, core engage, arms engage, base soft, neck soft. Keep the tension out of the neck. Engage the core. And we're going to lower the knees a little bit closer to the ground and lift them up. So again, we're working those legs, working the core.
I told you my legs were tired.
Small, tiny movements.
And so you decided to do a leg class. Wow,
and then send the hips up to down dog.
I finished at the tablet and I was like, man, I was kicking a lot of stuff. My legs are really tired as I was walking up the stairs. And she thought, so let's make an entire leg class today.
Take some side to side in your down dog. Take some movement, warming it up. It feels good. Maybe take some bending of the knees. Whatever feels good for warming up your down dog. And then taking a little bend in the knees. Get really strong in your down dog and take your hands a little bit wider. Get strong in a wide-armed down dog. And we're going to start to move here. If you need to drop your knees and do this from tabletop, go ahead. We're going to move our way onto our right arm and slowly lift the left with the inhale. So inhaling, opening up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, open up right. Find where you can keep strength in this. Do not use momentum to move it. If you need to make the movement smaller, make it smaller until you build your strength. Find different placements for your hands so that you're not working your shoulder only in one direction. And then bring it back to down dog. Find your breath. Connect with your head below your heart. Inhale, lift the right leg high, get really long from the toes to the fingertips. Take a long, slow circle with the right leg. Couple of long, slow circles. Then lift the right leg back to three-legged dog. Draw the right leg towards the right wrist, just as we were on tabletop. Hold it and hover.
Oh, I can cheat for just this.
Power yoga. Bring it back to three-legged dog. Bring it in towards the chest. Bend the knee. Bring your leg in towards the chest. Take the right foot over towards the right and land it. Maybe staying here. So maybe you're already feeling a stretch by pushing into the right foot. You might feel a stretch and opening already. Otherwise, we're going to go to falling triangle. Land in the right foot. Lift the left arm up. Breathe and hold.
Get tired.
Land the left hand. Bring the right knee back to center. Step the right foot behind the right wrist. And if you have your blocks, grab your blocks. Find some movement. Inhaling forward. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Find low lunge. So land on the right leg. Get really strong. Lift the torso up off the thigh. Hold. Maybe there's a little bend in the back leg. Keep that left leg nice and strong too. Arms out, shoulder height. Hold and hover. Try not to sink right into that right hip. We're going to bring left armpit towards right knee and back. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze. And then find the lunge all the way up, high lunge. Settle into a high lunge. Maybe bring that back foot in a little, get a little balanced. Find your hands of prayer. Find some steadiness. We're going to move and breathe. So inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep the torso down. Inhale up. Exhale, sweep away. Start to make this movement as small or as big as you're feeling today. Practice steady high lunge. Bring the weight forward onto the front leg. Start to pop up the back leg. Don't bring it too high. We're not going to full warrior 3. Bend into the front leg. hovering that back leg still. Bend the back knee. Hover. Squeeze in front of the hips. Bring that left knee behind the right knee and bring it down even further. Closer, closer, closer. Almost tucking the back knee into the front knee. Hover, hold. Right hip should be burning. And then if you want to be super crazy, take some little dips. Little tiny knee squats. Hold. You can do it. I know you hate it. Back, slowly, high lunge. Take your right fist and beat up that right hip, right glute. Take some circles. Get some movement in the muscle. Bring that back foot in a little closer and land it so that it's comfortable. The back leg is comfortable. And we're sending the front leg towards straight. Don't lock the back front knee. Bring the hips so they're facing forward. Slowly bring the torso forward. Now you should feel a nice stretch on that hip right where we worked it. Breathe. This is a piriformis stretch. Look, it's right there. If you are not feeling this, rather than going lower with the torso, feel like you're actively pulling the feet towards each other so the legs fire up. Then come forward and then play even more with how the feet are playing. And sometimes maybe even pushing the front foot away from the back foot. Play. See where you can find. Right there, right hip. Underneath the right glute. Bring it up. Hands to prayer. And we're going to bring the left leg all the way to knee up. So come to stand, knee up, hover. Try not to have the hips either side, so the hips are even. And throw that right hip out so you can balance. Hold and hover. And we're going to use breath of fire here. So we're going to pull in and out. Hold it, bring it in, hold it, keep holding it. An option to repeat that, where we're going to make the movement a little bigger. So bring it all the way back to low lunge, up and out. And wherever you are, come back to high lunge. Settle in and find the stillness. Find the steadiness of the pose. Find your heartbeat. Soften the tension in your face. And then frame out that front foot. Press into the ground. Send the right knee behind the right wrist. We're setting up for baby hop move. So the right foot can change an angle. You're going to bring your hips even. So left hip, right hip even, as if they're pushing against the wall. Then engage. So I'm not sinking into this right shoulder. I'm engaged and active. Almost as if I could lift up off my fingertips here and engage. I'm so strong underneath my rib cage. Hold, maybe hover. Left foot, left arm can be up, it can be on your hip. Engage and take the tension out of the face. Breathe. Make sure your wrist is comfortable. We're going to move and breathe in this position. So really strong left leg, really strong core. Slowly bring this left leg towards your navel. And then all the way back, behind. Find full range of motion, slow and controlled. your breath. Bring it forward, plant the left foot down, bend the knee. Find a nice strong position for your left foot. If you have wrist troubles, you might want to use the block just to get yourself up at a different height. Change the angle of your wrist. Find the place where you feel strong in your arm and your wrist, strong on right side body. Take right leg out. So now we're strong in this left leg, a lot of weight in the left leg, pressing into the ground. We're gonna bring the right hip down to a hover, and then up. Hover, not collapsing. Little hover, and up. Bring it around forward, start to engage the muscles in the stomach. Get really long. Left arm long. You're going to put all the weight into the right leg, and you're going to bring your left leg, and you're going to bring your right knee to touch your left elbow. In and out. Inhale long, exhale squeeze. Inhale long, exhale squeeze. This is yoga for strength, not yoga nap time. Let's go. Inhale long, exhale squeeze. Land that right hip down on the ground. Find right leg long. You're gonna place some weight into the left leg, and you're gonna lift and hover the right foot off the ground. So bring your torso forward and engage the core so this doesn't go into the low back. We're working the core here. Lift and hover and little pulses in.
I can't even lift the leg.
Squeeze. You can come down onto your forearm.
It's still hard.
Lift, hover, pulse. Take this isn't in the hip, so don't move rib cage and hip. We're moving inner thigh and low bow inner core in front of the hips.
I don't feel anything, but I can't move it, so I guess it's hard. I've gone numb.
Swing around onto both hips, feet down, knees up. Yeah, we only did one side, Kayla. So if you want to go lopsided, go ahead. So your feet are on the ground, knees are up. Plant your feet on the ground, and let's just do a little bit of footwork first. So bring your toes up towards your shin. Find just a comfortable place for your back. So we're not bringing any tension into our back and our shoulders and our face. Pull your toes up. So the muscles in your feet should be fired up. Press the balls of your feet down into the ground and then pull the toes even further up. Now bring the balls of your feet up. Toes are still pulling.
My feet are so dirty.
Now curl your toes under. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Curl your toes under. Oh, my feet are shaking like this. Mine are shaking. Squeeze your muscles so that they're squeezed more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring your toes out. Wiggle your toes. Take your feet all the way, without letting your shins move, take your feet all the way out. Squeeze the muscles, really squeeze. Shins should be firing up. Right in the lower leg. Fire up. Bring the feet all the way in. Trying not to let the shins move, just the feet. And then bring it back. And we're going to do a little bit of core work. So, lean back, not until you hit your tailbone. So squeeze the stomach. Lean back until you're engaged. We're looking for these muscles in between the rib cage and the hip. If you like, you can hold them. If you need to, you can bring your hands down for balance. Get the tension out of your neck. And we're going to take little tiny spirals with the chest here. So bring your hands in underneath your rib cage and your ribs. Feel those muscles in your core. or at least tell those muscles to fire up. Take your rib cage in the opposite direction. Bring the arms out. Lift the right leg. We're going to take right armpit to left leg. Oh my gosh, I said right leg. Other leg, opposite leg.
Left armpit to right leg, right armpit to left leg.
Nice and slow. Squeeze the core, don't drop into the tailbone. Nice
today.
And slow. Bring back to center. Bring the toes to the tips of the toes. And we're going to bring them in and out. Squeeze in the core, squeeze in the legs with control. Bring the legs down, shake them out. And then over cross legs to a tabletop. And we're going on to left leg. So finding your tabletop, bringing your toes tucked, knees to a hover. Breathe and hold. Engage the core. So this time we're going to do little pelvis tucks. So we're going to bring our knees and our pelvis a little bit closer to our belly button. Small movement. Squeeze and back. Squeeze and back. Bring the knees back down, send the hips back. Take a quick child. And then if you have the band and you want to engage with the band, we're going to do down dog with the band around our arms, around our forearms. So that wide armed down dog, set up first in your tabletop, and then send the hips up and back, engaging into the band. So pressing your arms into the band. A little bend in the knees, get the tension out of the head and the neck and the face, soft shoulders, strong arms. Soft face, strong arms. I did not mean soft shoulders. You want strong shoulders here. You want to drop yourself on your head.
Soften your shoulders.
Soften your shoulders.
And your arms.
Go ahead, just drop yourself on your head. I meant face, soft neck, strong arms and shoulders and core. Find your breath, press into the band. Just feel a little bit of different strengthening for the arms. And then we're going to do that same movement we did before, only with the band, if you have it. So bringing the weight onto the right arm, open up, push into the band with the left. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you bring your body back to down dog. Obviously, with the band, you're not going to get much movement. You're just building strength. So this pulling movement we don't get much of in yoga. That's why it's nice to add props. You want to add pulling as well as strengthening and holding. And then bring it back. Unhook your hands from the band and find a regular down dog. Catch your breath. We're going to inhale, lift the left leg high and get really long from the toes to the fingertips. Take some big circles with the left leg. And then take the left leg high, Slowly bring it towards the left wrist. Hold and hover. Little pulses. Bend the knee, bring it in towards the chest. Take it across the body. Either stay here, engaging, or maybe lifting up for a fallen triangle. Bring that right hand back down if you lifted it, knee back towards the chest, left hand behind, left foot behind left wrist. Find your low lunge, inhaling forward, exhaling backwards. Find some movement, find your breath.
Slowly find your blocks.
And then set up in your low lunge. Get really strong. Lift up just a little bit off this thigh so you're not sinking into the hip crease. Find some strength here. Bring the arms out. Even with the shoulders, strong torso. Right armpit comes towards left knee. Come on up, find the stillness of high lunge. Find some steadiness. We're going to move and breathe in high lunge. So inhaling, lifting, exhaling, sweeping. Inhale, lift, expand, exhale, sweep away. Find the steadiness. Bring the weight onto that left leg. Pop up the back toe just a teeny bit. Get really long from the hips to the crown of the head. Strong in this left leg. Bend the right knee. Slowly tuck that right knee behind the left. Bring it closer, closer, closer. Bend the left knee. Hover. Engaged. It may be little tiny pulses. Slowly taking that right leg back. Land in a high lunge and find the steadiness. Drop the back leg down to a comfortable position. Sending the left leg towards straight. You can lift the toes and press into the ball of the foot. Hip forward. Starting from the hips, bring the torso forward. Find piriformis on the left side. Play with pulling the feet apart or pushing them together without letting them move. Find some muscle engagement that feels good. Breathe. Slowly bring the torso up and set back up into the high lunge. I'm going to bring the right knee all the way up to stand, nice and slow and controlled and hips even. Whoop. And don't fall over. Right leg is engaged, breath of fire. So draw in and out. Bring it up to stand. Find some stillness. And either repeat this or take it a little bigger, dropping the back leg to the front leg to high lunge, and then up and wherever you are, land in a high lunge. Find the stillness. Find your heartbeat. And then we're going to frame out the front foot. Press into the hands. Left knee comes behind left wrist. I'm going to turn around so you can see.
Did we do this one?
Yeah. Left knee behind left wrist. Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Did you just skip it?
I think I skipped it.
Really different.
I don't think I did it.
I think you
Maybe you did.
Alright, so find your baby half moon. Nice and strong on the left side, stomach engaged. Lift up, right leg, right arm. Tension out of the neck, tension out of the face. Slowly bring that right leg center. Slowly bring it all the way back, maybe even past the hip. Find your range of movement, range of motion. Nice and strong, slow, with control. And then bring that right leg forward, bend the knee, land so it's strong. Left leg comes long. Now we're going to lower the left hip down to the ground. And then up, nice and slow.
It should also do something.
I gotta change the clock so Kaylee can't see it. Nice and slow and with control. And then take the right arm long, strong in the right leg. You're gonna bring left knee to right elbow. Squeeze, inhale long, exhale, squeeze. Land that left leg down. Slowly come down to the left hip. Bring the torso forward and lift and hover that left leg. So find the position where you can lift and hover the leg, and then little pulses. Find the inner thigh right here, right here. Inner thigh, lower core, right in front of the hip. Watch for compensation patterns. Soften the face. Soften the shoulders, soften the low back. Press a little more into the right leg. Maybe get a little stronger in the right leg. Let that come down. Roll on over. Meet it. Onto your back. Go ahead. Roll on over to your back. Take your feet to the very edges of your mat. Take your arms up overhead, make a big star shape. Take up some space. Start to allow your shoulders to come to the ground. And just notice how you feel. Slowly bring the left leg over to meet the right. And then take the torso over to the right, making a long banana shape on the ground, opening up that left side body. And then slowly over to the other side, opening up right side body. And body back to neutral, knees into the chest, and then slide right knee over left. Bring the knees closer to the chest and feet to opposite shoulders. Find the piriformis, right side. Breathe into it. slowly unravel and switch sides. Knees into the chest, feet to opposite shoulders. Find piriformis left side. Breathe in and release. Slowly unravel, and we did a lot of hip and leg work. So we're going to place our feet on the ground, and we're going to try and get a little muscular reset, little cellular reset, somatic movement. So we want to let the muscles jiggle as much as possible. So find your feet on the ground, and you're going to lift your hips almost just enough to slide a piece of paper underneath, and then just let them plop down. So letting them drop faster and faster, little wiggles. Feel the wiggles in your legs, soften your legs, let your legs wiggle, maybe shuffle your feet around so you can feel more wobbles in your legs. Let the shoulders hit the ground. Let the wiggles happen across the stomach. And then land that. Take a little side shuffle of the head. Make sure the neck has no tension. Bring the head back to neutral. Try to let the soft curve of the neck remain. Chin maybe a little more to the ceiling. And we're going to take the feet long with the heels down, toes up. Try to have a little bend in the knees. And then we're going to flick the feet and try and get the wobbles throughout the entire body. So you're looking to let the little vibrations happen all the way through the body. Notice any gripping. Notice any places that seem to be holding on. Start to soften control of your breath. Allow the vibrations to really vibrate through the entire physical body. Allow your face to soften. And then take a really long, slow breath in. And as you exhale, suddenly stop. Notice how you feel. Soften the palms of your hands. Soften your wrists. Soften the soles of your feet. Soften your ankles. Soften your neck. Soften around the temples. Soften the roof of the mouth. Soften around the jaw. Soften the muscles of the throat. Imagine that you could let go of everything you've ever said that you regretted, and things that you held back that you regret holding back and not saying. Imagine you could soften your throat and just let it all release, let go, soften. Making more space for your breath, more space for your voice. I picked an affirmator card today. Worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it, and damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of something else. And then I'll run away very quickly. So the whole point of the physical movement, the strength movement in yoga, is to address the physical layer of the body. We have all these layers of ourself, and the physical layer can be very disruptive. And sometimes turning on all of the muscles and working them hard can help us connect to them, so that we know these places where we're weak or we're gripping, and we can find ways to be more balanced in the whole body. So perhaps looking throughout the body, doing a little scan, and really taking the time to notice what feels different from when you started. Noticing what was easy, noticing what was more difficult and challenging. Noticing if the things that you found difficult and challenging were difficult because of muscles, or perhaps difficult because of your mind. Maybe difficult because of some holding patterns or muscular gripping rather than weakness. And then letting go. All the work is done. Perhaps even taking the time to say to yourself, right here in this moment, all of my needs are met. I can turn off and take a little break. We're coming right up on the 60-minute mark, so if you have somewhere that you need to be, begin to bring yourself back to present moment. As always, I will offer you the chance to stay in this resting pose. Take the opportunity to listen to your body and take as much time as your body needs to restore, to let go. To enjoy the fruits of a little bit of hard work. And if you're following along, slowly bring a knee in at a time. Curl up in a little ball in the fetal position on whatever side is calling to you. And take a moment to ground down and arrive back in the room. Connecting within to your light within. That spark of life that is always there underneath all the layers of our heart wall, waiting for us to connect within. Unchanged by our experiences or our harsh judgments we place on ourselves. And take your time. Try to finish practice in familiar patterns. Rituals and familiar patterns are extremely good for our brains. And good for our spirit. Good for our whole body health. So finish your practice with your left and right sides meeting in front of your heart. Your hands of prayer in front of your heart. This gesture of bringing our left and right sides to meet, as if accepting ourselves as whole and complete, exactly as we are. May we know love, light, and connection, and may we all understand that we are worthy of love. Thanks for joining us.